Oh, this show, man. Get ready for shit to get dark. Again, guys. Again. Hi, and welcome back to the Inside of My Head, where I've been going week by week on Season 2 of Primal. Make sure you hit like on the video if you're enjoying Season 2 so far, and make sure you're subscribed because in a few days I'm going to drop top Primal kills as well as Primal theories as we run up to the finale of Season 2. Anyway, where do we start with Episode 8? Right, so the sneak peek that we got last week showing the Norseman in his new form was pretty damn awesome, wasn't it? I mean, and what better to open Episode 8 with? The exact same scene. Incidentally, this episode is called the Colossaeus Pt2, insinuating that it's kind of like a direct continuation of that sub-storyline that we're following now with these Egyptian guys. Because if you wanted to see more of this guy, you ain't getting that right now. No. I did think this shot right here was pretty awesome. Like, you know, he's constantly on fire, right? And then we see this super wide shot and you see the plume of smoke from miles away. There is going to be no sneaking up on enemies for this guy. After we see him break out of the underworld, form his axe out of dark magic material and begin his journey to get revenge on Spear and Fang, we're thrown into the aftermath of last week's battle against the Mesopotamians, where we see Cleopatra, or whoever this queen is meant to be, and how she's more interested in gathering these kind of mementos rather than the traditional spoils of war. Oh, and I love how this guy has kept hold of his kitten, like, through the ransacking of his city and the killing of his people. Like, just, you know, keep that thing close, buddy. We also see how, just as she's using Fang's eggs as leverage to get them to fight for her, she has the big Egyptian's daughter, and that's why he is doing her bidding. The big guy is called Kamau, by the way, which makes me wonder if he is Egyptian after all. It could be more of a Hawaiian or a Samoan name, maybe. I don't know. Oh, no, just Googled it, and apparently it's Kenyan in origin. But regardless, these guys are thrown into this cycle of barbarism against civilization after civilization, including these ironclad guys who might be Englishmen, I'm not sure. These guys who are obviously Asian. I was thinking Mongolians at first, but their buildings look more Japanese. And these guys whose headdresses remind me. No, actually, I don't know who these guys are based on. If you guys have got any idea, let me know in the comments below. Oh, remember last week I joked about seeing Romans in here? Voila! I give you centurions. And yes, I was right about something. I gotta tell somebody. I don't have anybody though. Then shit gets dark again, as they come across a population who actually welcomes the Egyptian with gifts. But of course, these fish and apples and shit are nothing to this spoilt bitch, so she orders Kamau to kill them just for the gigs, I guess. But we brought you fish. The big guy doesn't want to and almost pleads with her. But once she threatens his daughter, Hulk smash, and it's... Oh my god, I don't know. For me, it's one of the most horrific scenes in Primal. The red mist, everyone who got killed was armed. I mean, I know there was that one woman carrying the baby, but even she had a bow and arrow, if I remember correctly. Obviously I didn't remember correctly. This was just... These guys had rolled out red carpets. They had no idea about this slaughter that's about to hit them. And afterwards, you even see Kamau in his cell at night with a tear in his eye, and it really rips you up inside. Okay, but let's come back to that. So at this point, I was really boiling inside at the Queen character, so I was really happy that it's not too long before Spear starts an escape plan, and you really hope that they give this asshole a horrible, painful death for all the suffering she's caused all the way across the world. Frustratingly though, Kamau refuses to help, opting to stay in his cell for fear of retribution against his daughter, I guess. And let's not forget that there's no love lost between him and Spear. There is that. Spear, while he's sneaking around, is spotted in the throne room and finds out that the Queen can fight pretty damn well herself. And after Mira grabs Kamau's daughter and the eggs, and they make a run for it, the eggs hatch, now of all times, in the middle of everything. Oh, and look, they've even got red markings like their daddy. But seriously, how long are we giving these guys? They ain't gonna last long, are they? Just being real. That prompts Fang to smash out of her cage, and Kamau eventually leaves his cell, where he's faced with the choice. And that's where the episode ends. With the Queen holding all the bargaining chips again. She has the kid, she has the baby T-Rexes, and Spear, Fang, and Mira are surrounded by a whole army of soldiers. So it could go one of two ways from here. Either Kamau decides to rebel and risk the lives of all the hostages, or I guess he's going to be ordered to kill our heroes, and there's going to be some kind of face-off here. Which one way or another, you would have to bet on Spear and Fang winning somehow. I mean, you know how powerful this guy is. I don't know, but he's not going to beat them, is he? But all you really want is that team up, isn't it? To see them carving through the Egyptian army together, sinking this fancy ship, and sending this prick to the afterlife in the most painful way possible. So a few random thoughts. I was hoping to get more of this guy. I really was. And I hope that it doesn't turn into a situation like having to wait God knows how many seasons for the dragons to show up to Westeros in Game of Thrones. Remember that? With the way it's set up now too, like I saw that the next ep is going to be called the Colossaeus Pt2, which is going to mean there'll be 3 episodes with the Queen as the villain before it takes a sudden left turn and we're back with the Norseman as the villain again. Isn't that going to be a little weird? Oh, and just as a side note, I saw that Wikipedia is referring to the Norseman as the chieftain. So, you know what? Let's go with that from now on to avoid confusion. But my point is, I just hope that they integrate the chieftain into these Egyptian events somehow. Otherwise, it's going to be like, we've been following the chieftain story for quite a few episodes, but wait, hold on a sec. Now let's throw in another sub-story for a few eps before we tie up that other loose end. I don't know, that could just be a little bit weird. But, you know, I do have faith in these guys. They've done pretty amazingly so far, so I'm just very curious as how it's all gonna fit together. Oh, there was this one moment in this episode that I really like where Spear had to figure out keys and locks. I just thought it was a nice little reminder of where he's at, you know? Like, sure, he's a caveman. Like, I know this. It's impossible to forget. But it is easy to forget that actually he's kind of learning and adapting to this situation, which must be super surreal to him. He's learning all this stuff on the fly. And there's one moment where you see him trying to copy what he must have seen the guards doing, but like he's doing it a bit wrong. Like, how does this thing work? I really like that. One thing that I am confused about in season 2 is the timeline, as in how much time is meant to have passed between events. Like, between Fang mating and giving birth seemed pretty quick. Like, I don't know what the whole incubation period for T-Rexes is or anything, but it also seemed pretty quick for them to be hatching so soon. What triggered me thinking this was suddenly the Queen has an adult leopard at her feet after we saw her take a baby one from the Mesopotamian, which at first made me think, oh, some time has passed. There's been 3 or 4 war campaigns shown, so, you know, years must have gone by, right? Oh, but then we're shown Kamau's daughter and she hasn't changed a bit. So I don't know whether this is another cat or whether this is just down to the pulp nature of this show. Like, I had a conversation with someone once who reckoned that Tarantino put deliberate continuity misalignments, I won't call them mistakes, they're more like misalignments, in his movies, because just as you're squishing different elements from different genres, or in this case parts of history together, you can also take bits of your own timeline and mix and match it. So basically, f*** you, I do what I want, you know? Actually, I have no idea if that makes sense, but hey. And of course, we have to talk about these peaceful, innocent villagers slaughtered by Kamau. And I think the thing that I found most traumatic about that was these extreme close-ups of the big guy, as his actions are undoubtedly driving him insane and tearing him up inside, because the bottom line is, this guy would do anything for his little girl, even something this extreme and barbaric. But the way that it's done, as he turns to a silhouette with these glowing eyes, he knocks the back of somebody's skull off as they're running away, it's utterly nightmarish. And I had the same feeling that I did when I was watching something like Irreversible. You know the scene I'm talking about. But those fucking villagers, man, you just feel so terrible for them. They were just there minding their own business one day, trying to live a happy life. Maybe one day this strange, enormous thing like an alien craft appears on the horizon. They're all excited. Jesus fucking Christ, the gods have arrived. What can we give them? Well, we don't have much. Fish. We've got fish. Give them the biggest, juiciest, shiniest fish we can possibly plunder from the sea. And apples. Oh, the apples. It's amazing, juicy confections from Mother Nature herself that we have to send an expedition out to get from the next island. 6 men died to get these apples, but it doesn't matter. And she's like, no, you're all right. I'm a little bored. Can you just kill them? That might entertain me a bit. Oh, I hate this bitch! So once again, Primal has done this thing again, where you're presented with what initially seems like a bad guy. But once you learn what motivates them, you suddenly see them in a different light. And I just hope that this guy does the right thing in the next step, because you could well see him making the same choice again. That's how much he loves his daughter. As we saw when he refused to help Spear fight, he might not do anything to endanger that girl. It did cross my mind that the Queen, as arrogant as she is, might make the mistake of killing the girl, which would definitely set him right off. And as we've seen, Primal is not afraid of killing the younglings. Alright guys, let's leave it there for now. Let me know if I've missed anything. Make sure you subscribe for my top Primal kills, which could be as ready as soon as tomorrow, and Primal theories, which I just started on today. Get in the comments and let me know if you have any cool theories, and I might just throw them in there. thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate all of your views, all of your likes, and all the rest. And I will see you very soon for the next one. Thanks again for watching, and cheerio, bye.